What's up, internet world? Welcome to Mighty and Metastatic. Super excited to be here tonight. This is our second show. The first show we had back in January was really an introduction to this new show about metastatic breast cancer. And I've got with us, as every time will be, Kim Lusk. Are you in the house, Kim Lusk?
Hey, how's
What's
it
up,
going?
my friend? How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Thank you
Hey,
so much for doing this show with me, man. Kim and I are co-hosting this show. As you guys know, I am a triple negative breast cancer survivor. I've been cancer-free for about 15 years. My good friend here, the goddess of thunder, amazing bass player Kim Lusk, is a warrior of triple negative breast cancer. She's in that fight right now. She has metastatic breast cancer, and so she's co-hosting the show with me, and we're going to teach you all kinds of things about what you can learn from people who are going through metastatic breast cancer. Also in the house tonight, we got Paige. Paige, are you in the house?
hey,
What's up? What's up?
hello,
What's
hello,
up? Very cool.
girl.
Hey, Paige. Paige is a warrior too, man. She's our special guest tonight. We're going to be talking about our to-do lists in life, right? And how getting a diagnosis like metastatic breast cancer changes your perspective. So, Paige, can you give us a quick update on the status of your fight with breast cancer?
Sure. I'm actually doing very well right now. Like all the prayers and support I have, I give props to that always. Um, but doing very well. I have mets in my ribs and in my axilla, which, if you know anything about biopsies and lymph nodes, it's kind of like the mothership of where your lymph nodes take off from and stuff with breast cancer, it seems like. But it actually decreased a bit in my last PET scans, and no new places lit up, which is always something to celebrate with PET scans. Now, if people would just you know, decrease or give you like a punch card for, every fourth PET scan or something, that would be great.
You
So,
get
but yeah,
like a buy three get one free kind of thing.
right? For real.
No
So,
doubt.
but other than the financial strain and stuff, that's my greatest issue right now. And just fatigue
Yeah.
is my number one battle. But my pain, I'm doing palliative care now, and it's helping immensely. I have a pain regimen that kind of gets me ahead of the pain instead of trying to back treat it, and it's changed my world. So
And Paige, you've been on a Beat broadcast before, so we've gone into the
yes.
depths of your diagnosis. But the only one thing I do want to let people know is how long has it been since you were first diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer?
Yeah, I was my original diagnosis was 2016, and then 5 days shy of my 5 year mark, I received my news that it was metastatic, which a 5 year mark is kind of like a milestone kind of thing. So I went metastatic in 21. So I've been in treatment and chemo and radiation, all things, but now I'm doing like a injection called fulvestrant, and it's monthly injections now, and like I had to build up to that, but they seem to be doing the thing. So
That's awesome. And co-host Kim, man, you got any questions for Paige? And then I want to want to teach everybody about what's going on with you.
Oh, okay. I don't see any questions, but apparently there's a bad echo.
Gotcha.
Oh,
Um,
can, can they say from who?
no, Izzy says there's a bad echo.
I'm not hearing it
I,
on my
I,
end.
no. April, what was your question again for me?
No, I was just asking you to give everybody the rundown of where you are. I mean, as my co-host, I want everybody to always know what the status is of you.
Okay, okay. Well, I was diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer in 2023. It was at stage 1. The beginning of 2025, we found out that it recurred and went metastatic stage 4. So it at that point was in my brain, my bones, my liver, one of my lungs, and was very concerning. And they basically started me on chemo right away. So I have been metastatic for a whole year now, because that happened in January of last year. Hard to believe a whole year's gone by, but basically, treatable, not curable. And so the treatments have been working really well. And in fact, my last scans back in December showed that there was reduced metastasis in the lesions in the brain, which is great. My
Wonderful.
really pleased with what he was seeing. Same thing with the liver, which the liver, that's pretty concerning. And so he was very pleased with the reduction of metastasis, and overall, and this was the first time since I was diagnosed metastatic that I've heard him say this. He said, I am very, very pleased with what I'm seeing. So that was great to hear. This was last month. So
Woohoo!
yeah,
It's
yeah.
awesome.
So, right before Christmas, I was in the hospital for a couple of days due to blood clots that they found during one of my CT scans. Didn't know it was there, wasn't looking for it. Basically, they were looking to see, hey, how's the chemo doing?
Mhm.
And found pulmonary embolism in my lung. One of them had two in my right leg, and then one of them had traveled to my lung. And so they told me, you need to go to the ER immediately. So we
Wow.
were able to deal with that and get that taken care of. And so I'm on blood thinners now, doing great, no issues. And, on chemo as well as immunotherapy. And the immunotherapy is really helping with the white blood cell count. So, overall doing good, taking things day by day, and, giving the body rest when it asks for it.
Amen, dude. Totally. For those of you guys watching right now or listening to the podcast, just want to let you guys know again, this is Mighty and Metastatic. We've got Kim Lusk, my co-host, and Paige Nally is our guest this month. And this show is going to be discussing all kinds of things related to metastatic breast cancer. And just in short, one thing that I always want to make sure that we say is a lot of people don't even know what metastatic breast cancer is or what metastatic cancer is. In fact, I had a meeting recently with our board of directors, and someone on our board wasn't even familiar. And I was like, this is why we want to do this. So metastatic breast cancer, essentially, and again, this is nothing on here is medical advice, or we're not experts or whatever. We're just kind of telling you the top level of what things are. But metastatic breast cancer basically means that the cancer has gone what I would call systemic, which means it's not curable any longer. Like Kim was saying, it's treatable. I know of people who've had metastatic breast cancer for 20 years. So it's not like a death sentence. There's all different stages of metastatic cancer that you can have, where it's controlled or where it's spreading further, and all the things. And today's topic is our life's to-do lists. And I really want to jump in there. Kim, this is something that you had brought up. So, man, take it away, dude.
Okay, absolutely. Well, a lot of the things that I'm going to mention, I feel like are things that people should do anyway. But I will go ahead and just admit right now, there are things I really didn't do until my diagnosis, because it really put things into perspective with regard to, you start thinking about, future mortality, things like that. So, honestly, I did get them done, but so I didn't want anybody to feel like, oh, well, you should wait till you have this type of diagnosis before you do these things. These are things you should do anyway. Um, but you really want to, get a will done. My husband and I have been married almost 30 years, and we just got our will done last year.
Yeah, but the thing is I think that's totally normal. I mean, Paige, don't you think so too? Like, I just
Yeah.
feel like that's normal. That's
But
something
they
people put
ask you at
off.
every appointment. I didn't get asked that when I was regular cancer, but like at every appointment, they're like, "Do you have a living will? Do you have power of attorney?" I'm like, "No."
Yeah,
So
but I
yeah, it's
mean,
on my to-do list too.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's
We're
not only that either, right? Sorry, Kim, I know I stepped on you a little bit. And not only that, but just like a will of your stuff. That's something that my mom started doing far in advance, before her illness got worse with her pulmonary fibrosis. Is she started making a list of the things and who she wanted stuff to go to. I mean, it's just life
Hmm.
stuff that we all don't want to think about, but I don't think we should be scared. Just kind of like
Yeah.
jump in there and
And
do
it's
it.
a blessing for your family not to have to worry about it.
Yeah, it really is. You want them to,
Yeah.
you want to have peace of mind, but it's like it's that I call it blissful ignorance. We think we
Yeah.
have and that type of thing, but it's something that everyone should do. And you mentioned the medical power of attorney, also advance directives. That's really important. Things such as, hey, if I become unconscious, do I want to be resuscitated? Things like
Right.
with advanced directives. And I know my doctor was asking things like that. And so when you have your living will done, all those other things, these are things that you really should think about anyway, whether you have cancer or not. Everybody should be doing these things. I mean, it's
Yeah.
important. It's
To-
really important.
Totally, and I mean that's one of the reasons this is such a great topic. Is it doesn't just affect people who have chronic illnesses or anything like that. If you're just a human and these are things you need to do, and it's not about waiting to the last minute. It's stuff we should be thinking about doing now. We should be scared about doing it. We should just get it done. And so I think there's a lot that we can learn from you guys who are going through metastatic breast cancer, and I'm so grateful that you guys are willing to share your stories and your experiences. What other kind of things do you guys think about as far as, now I've got this diagnosis, my perspective has changed a lot. What else is on your to-do list?
Passwords. Excuse me. Get your passwords put
Right. Oh my gosh.
all one.
Like have a memory outside of your memory for real. Yeah. Chemo brain is for real.
Yeah.
I always thought it would be cool to have like if you could have like your own AI that just did your brain alone.
Oh my gosh. Right.
It's coming.
That's chat GPT. I would sign up for that.
Right.
It's coming. So they're going to come out with that next year.
Right.
Right.
Dude. They won't ask any of us the truth.
Yeah, it'll just happen. So we got wills, living wills, advanced directive, power of attorney, passwords. Get your passwords organized for your family members. And again, guys, this isn't just something that we're talking about that folks who are metastatic should do. I'm not metastatic, and these ladies are, and I'm learning from them. And I think we should all learn from them and get these things done and not put them off because,
Yeah.
as Kim, you said so many times, we all have an expiration date. None of us are going to make it out of here alive.
Right.
We may as well be planning. So we got those things on the list, and I'm like, I should have started the AI assistant before the call so that we could have this transcribed for us. And next time I'll have to do that. But we got our own little bulleted list going right now. So we've got the power of attorney, the living will, advanced directive, just like a regular will of your assets and your passwords. What other things are there? Things that like I know for me, I wasn't diagnosed with metastatic, but it does give you new perspective on life when you get a cancer diagnosis in general, and you're like, what am I waiting for? And one of the things that I did was I was like, I live too far from my parents and they're getting older and there's no reason for me to live this far. And what am I waiting for to move closer to them? I don't want to wait till I'm like,
Yeah.
crap, I wish I had. And so that was one of the first things I did within 2 years of my diagnosis. I moved to about 5 miles from my parents. Are there other things that you guys had on your to-do list that you're doing or planning to do or have done?
Mine, like, I'm trying to get out of the mindset of surviving, like survival mode. I feel like I've been in that since like 2016, and I just pushed through. Like I taught full time through everything except for my surgeries, and like I just push, push, push. But like real life, like is a clutter bomb, and just catching up with stuff. But like now that I'm starting to feel better and not have to think about being in pain or swollen or something like all day, I'm ready to start focusing on living instead of just surviving. And like it's hard when it's like I have to keep teaching full time because I have to afford all these cancer bills. Like it is not a cheap disease. And like that's kind of a cusp that I'm at right now, is like trying to seek discernment for that. Like, I want to give the best to my students. They deserve the best. And I don't know that I can give it to them at the level that they deserve still. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm taking a cruise with my best friend this summer. I'm like, I'm going to be in debt the rest of my life. I might as well be in debt and make some amazing memories and spend time with the people I love, and not just focus on, treatment to treatment and stuff. So
It's
Wow,
powerful.
Paige, that's really powerful and totally resonates with me because, I even said, hey, 2025 was really hard. I mean, when I was first told, and I even asked,
yeah,
wow,
level with me. Yeah.
level with me here, and ask the difficult questions, the elephant in the room questions kind of thing. And, beyond being devastated and then, moving on from there, it takes several months and, it's like the stages of grief, right? And I
Yeah.
said, 26 is going to be the year where it's like, okay, you know what, I know I have this, but I'm not going to think about it every day all the time anymore. I've cried, I've been through, all that, right? But I need to start living because that's why I'm fighting,
Yeah.
and I need to start enjoying things, and getting out and like you doing the cruise and everything. I think one of the toughest things that we've probably had to do, I'm sure you'll agree, is having those tough conversations and who to have them with
Hmm.
and how to step into that and then be prepared for the questions because the
Yeah.
question it's so exhausting having to answer the questions.
Hmm.
And but you want your loved ones to understand, hey, this is what's happening, this is what it means.
Yeah.
And those difficult conversations. And I don't think we can do all the rest of it, the wills, the power of attorney, all those things without having those conversations. And also having other important documents, your vehicle, your house,
Yeah.
all
All the
those things,
adulting stuff.
all yes, all the adulting things. And I it's like putting all of those things, if you put them in one place and you know where everything is, and
Hmm.
you have to take notes, because we get chemo brain where you forget things. And
Yeah.
so it's important to make a list of those things, make a list of the things that you need to get together, so that, hey, I've got, not only do I have a list, but I have all the things,
Right.
the safe deposit box key, if it's, if they still do those. I know my bank stopped doing them recently, but
Yeah.
all the things,
Yeah.
that need to be known so that other people can take care of that or understand. It's just, I like the way you said that, Paige. All the adulting things, got to get it all together
I've
because
never been a fan. Never. It's probably why I teach elementary, because I'm like, no, like it's
I
highly
want
overrated.
the 80s. That's all I'm gonna say. I want to go back to the 80s. We had great,
Yes.
we had fun. We
Right.
enjoyed all this adult
Amazing.
stuff.
And I don't know about you, Kim, but I feel like of course I love this, because I mean I've loved breast cancer, can stick it since before I had cancer, because like I love April. But I just, advocacy and education of what metastatic cancer is and how it's different. Like, for example, like our PTA, we've had on our calendar since August, wear pink tomorrow for cancer awareness. And it was just on my heart. And I finally reached out to my boss and I was like, I said, nothing against pink, because they have been so supportive, so supportive. And, but I said, it's so much more than that at the stage that I'm at. And 3%, 3% of the funding that is dialed in from, pink and goes to metastatic. But yet we're the ones fighting the fight the longest and the most,
Well,
testing and all that kind of stuff. It's just backwards. And I admit I didn't know, I didn't understand it before it was my life. kind of thing. So it's a learning curve, and people are like, stage 4, so what's next? And I'm like, there's not one. Like,
Yeah.
and like, you don't look sick all the time.
Right.
And I don't know, like, it was easier to get some of that grace. I feel like sometimes when you look ill, and now it's just, I look like a wall, like I hit a wall. I'm just a tired teacher, but like it's hard to explain to people. Like, it's a different kind of fatigue. It's like, I can't describe it. Like, it's just like your body is like heavier and slower, and then they're like, okay, exercise. I'm like, okay, yeah.
Right. You're like, it's working against you, all of it. I
Right.
wanted to throw in, because you gave me a perfect opportunity to do a plug for Breast Cancer Can Stick It. Paige, first of all, thank you so much for that. And, I love you and your support. You both have supported this organization since before either of you had breast cancer. And that's sadly happening, more and more frequently as we get older. But the funds that Breast Cancer Can Stick It raises, 50% of the funds that we donate out go towards
to research
for metastatic breast cancer. So
Which is amazing.
yeah. So that's a really big deal for us. I know a lot of the other funding goes towards education awareness and like mammograms, things like that, financial assistance for treatment. But actually getting to the root of the problem is such an important thing. And gratefully, there are organizations that do put a majority of their funds to it. But I know, as you said, I don't have the numbers in front of me. I'm going to trust that you got that all accurate and stuff on the 3%. But if you look at that across the board, that sucks.
I think it was from like 2024.
Yeah,
so hopefully it's improved.
Yeah, that would be great. And it's another thing is, it's like, breast cancer, people who've had breast cancer, we all kind of bond together, but metastatic community is a different thing, because you don't necessarily have to have metastatic breast cancer to understand a real connection with people who are metastatic,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, April, plug, right? So plugging Breast Cancer Can Stick It. I'm glad you said, because as you were talking about that, it really brought me back to when I first met you. And I remember you had just had your last chemo.
Was that the day you met me? Was whenever Metal Shop was playing at Wizards?
Yes.
Oh my God. Yeah. April 7th, 2011, I think it was.
Yes. And, remember what I said recently? I was like, we got put in each other's orbit for a reason.
Yep.
Wow.
It's
that gives
true.
me chills.
Yeah.
And by the way, I wanted to say Ashley, Deb, and Charmaine are giving their support.
I love y'all.
Hey guys, they gave their support in the comments, so wanted to mention them and say hello.
Awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of people watching right now, so thank you guys for all being here. We've got you rolling on YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and some of those folks that might be listening right now are listening on a podcast. So thank you guys for all tuning in. What other items? I know Paige just mentioned that she's going on a cruise this summer, even though it's going to put her in debt for the rest of her life. She says she's going to be in debt anyway.
I'm already there.
Yeah.
I'm already there.
You might as well spend it on something you want to do. Right. So how about, what about Kim? Do you have some things that you want to throw in?
I would say, get your financial house in order and think about, where you want to put your energy. What do you want to do? I looked at my bucket list that I've had since high school, and I'm lucky and fortunate that I've been able to check off a lot of things. But then I thought, okay, based on where I am, who I am, now, right? What are some things that I want to do this year, next year? Where do I want to go? What do I want to do? I was supposed to have gone to Europe when I found out that I was stage 4 metastatic. I had to postpone my trip. I mean, it was like, you've got to be kidding me. Really? But, it is what it is, right? So if there's things you want to do, make that list out, because, you may forget, and who do you want to travel with? What concerts do you want to go to? What events do you want to attend? Who do you want to spend time with? Things like that. Do you want to do outdoorsy things? That type of list. I think is important. Self-care is important as well.
Huge. Yeah.
So that's really huge. How do you spend your energy when you're on your own, when you might be um, alone? Are you journaling? Do you have crafts that you like to do? Things that keep your mind busy don't always have to be physical. They can be things, do you like reading
Mhm.
books? So things like that, you can make a list of, hey, these are the important adulting things, but then there's also, hey, I need time for fun too, and to take care of me. You may have to make lists
Yeah.
for doctor's visits. You may have to have reminders and things for, medication that you're taking. It's just different. But like we said before, there are a lot of things that people should be doing anyway, whether they have cancer or not.
Yeah, and I think that's the point is it's like, I think like for me, you're talking about concerts and stuff, and it's like, before you know it, you're later in life and you miss all those opportunities. And especially when you're, bound by money, it's not like you could just be, oh, this year I'm going to go to every concert I wanted to go to. You kind of have to like plot that stuff out. And like vacations, especially, you can't just like, oh, I'm going to take all my vacations this year. Start planning. Like I'm trying to plan our vacations out. Like this year we're going to do this. Next year we're going to do that. Year after that we're going to do this. Like just start planning it out, or you might never get to it and you'll regret it. And I think that's, again, the big takeaway that we can all take from anybody who's going through metastatic breast cancer is just to gain that perspective and to really listen to what you guys are saying. We can learn so much from you guys because there's no way to understand the position that you guys are in, and we want to learn.
Well, we appreciate having this platform to be able to share, you know,
Absolutely.
to help educate them. And, I had never, I had heard like commercials where, here and there you'd hear Metastatic and didn't know what it was, right? Just didn't even pay
Hmm.
attention. And, being diagnosed, it's like, okay, what does that mean? What is, and then meeting other people through Breast Cancer Can Stick It, you know, um, it was interesting swapping stories with other warriors and other survivors, and the similarities and the things that we were saying that were the same. And it was like you feel seen and heard and
Yeah.
understood, and it's like a sisterhood, and it's just amazing. But everybody had the same thing to say about the metastatic breast cancer. It's like, unless you have it, you may not know what it is. And those who do have it, we had to educate.
Yeah.
And Paige made
Yes.
a good point earlier
Mhm.
about advocacy, because you have to advocate for yourself.
Yeah.
Have to, you want to research and, keep those articles, do the research and look at different things. Because if you're just, going by what you're told, in a clinical office, I mean, you're doing yourself a big disservice. You don't want to scare yourself, but you want to be educated and understand things so that you can have those conversations with, your medical team, your oncologists, palliative
Right.
folks. You want to be able to have those conversations and ask those questions, and so you'll want to make lists of those things.
Well, and not even knowing that, like, I didn't even know that my oncologist was like a general oncologist, like, wasn't even a breast cancer specialist. And so, like, when I went metastatic, I was like, no, I want someone that is up to date and knows. And that has been a game changer for me. Like, just knowing that people, like, they are up to date on the current, because it's constantly changing. That's the thing too that people don't understand is, like, breast cancer is incredibly personal when it comes to the treatments. And, like, you can be sitting in the same chemo chair, the same timeline as somebody else, but, like, your cocktails are different from theirs. And, like, it's incredibly individualistic. And then, like, I had never even thought until someone brought it up, like, is your oncologist, do they understand metastatic? And I was like, I don't know. So, like, even just making sure that your medical team, like, is solid, and,
That is
being educated along with you, instead of like, well, let's just treat it and treat it, like.
right.
So
For anybody who's just joining in the TikTok or on the TikTok world or Facebook world, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, wherever you're watching or listening to, first of all, go ahead and ping in there your comments of anything that you have on your to-do list, your life to-do list, especially if you're a metastatic cancer survivor. Want to hear from you. And those, again, watching, the biggest thing that we want to make sure everybody is aware of is kind of to have just an understanding of what metastatic breast cancer is. And again, just to briefly explain it, it's more of when the cancer that the person has kind of goes more systemic. It's no longer curable. However, it is treatable. Depending on the severity of the metastasis, it determines, what your outcome is going to be. So it's important to know an example of a metastatic cancer. For example, my dad has prostate cancer, and he got diagnosed with stage 4 prostate cancer. I think it was 24, early 24. And he didn't even understand that that's what he had. The doctor came in and said that it was in his bones, but she didn't use the word metastatic. If you have a cancer in your breast or your lungs or wherever else, and it travels into your bones, then that means it's metastatic. But Dad didn't know that. He didn't know that meant that metastatic is stage 4 cancer.
Not like bone cancer. That's
right.
separate.
Right. It's actually prostate cancer that has traveled to your bones. So some people also I'm glad you said that, Paige, because some people also say, I have breast cancer and now I've got lung cancer. Well, if it's metastatic breast cancer, chances are it's not a new cancer of lung cancer. It's metastatic breast cancer that has spread to your lungs. So it's really important. And especially if you're in this position and you're a patient right now and you get this kind of information, it's very important for you to ask those questions. Is the pathology the same on my breast cancer as in the cancers in my lungs? Is it the same cancer that spread, or is it a new cancer? Things like that are super important to learn. Another kind of example of having metastatic cancer is if you have breast cancer and it travels to your lungs or another organ, your brain or your liver or something like that. If it's the same cancer that was in your breast and it's traveled to a distant organ, then that's also considered metastatic. So just trying to help people kind of get a general understanding of what metastatic is and why it's such an important topic for us to bring up here at Breast Cancer Can Stick. It's really not something people talk about very much. And we're in a very unique situation, folks, because not everybody who has metastatic breast cancer wants to talk about it. So Paige and Kim, man, props to you guys. It means so much to me that you guys are willing to have this forum.
Well, thank you for having the foresight to do it.
Hell yeah. So much, because this means a lot to be able to help other people. And one of the things it's interesting that people say, well, metastatic, what is that? I'm like, you've heard the word metastasis. Yeah. So then, that's a derivative of the word metastatic. They're like, oh, meaning spread. I'm like, that's it. Yeah. But April, the work that you and Breast Cancer Can Stick It does is so important and so meaningful and
impactful.
Really impactful, and just really appreciate the opportunity to share and to help others and to educate other people and just bring more awareness to this. So thank you for having us.
Absolutely, man. It's a blessing to be able to do this and to have, a way to get the word out about it, because it is such a confusing disease, cancer, and people think that they understand it. And even sometimes you were talking about somebody who's like, well, you've heard of metastasize. And some people don't even know what that means. It's crazy, because you could have breast cancer spread to your lymph nodes but not be stage 4, and so there's just certain parameters. So your lymph nodes aren't a distant organ, so it has to have gone from your breast through your lymph nodes to somewhere else, liver, lungs, brain,
and just even understanding
bones.
that that's like a super highway in your body. Like, I never knew anything about lymph nodes. And I'm like, dude, they're everywhere.
They are everywhere. So back to our to-do list. I want to point out that Lisa Nally has shown, give a big shout out to her. She's given her support in the comments. Thank you, Lisa. You're awesome. It looks like we got a note here from Deb Cohen. Deb is a breast cancer survivor that was on the beat recently. What's up, Deb? Thanks for joining. Given the amount of money and research towards finding a cure, it would seem that they would be pretty far along in their progress. Is there anywhere to review the progress to date? That's a great question, Deb. We're actually going to be doing our triple negative breast cancer broadcast. I got to talk to this Izzy person over here, our producer, about it and get rolling on it somewhere around the beginning of March. And we almost always have Dr. Joyce O'Shaughnessy, who's on the cutting edge of a lot of this research and trials that are going on. And she gives us an update every year. One thing I can tell you is on our YouTube channel, we have a Dr. O playlist, and you can go through there and watch the most recent videos from her to get the most recent as of, I think we did our triple negative breast cancer broadcast in, was it September, I think, or something? I think it was September, sometime last year. We kind of had to miss because April had a concussion the previous one. Anyway, and so you can check it out there, Deb. I really hope we will check that out. It's super encouraging to hear it come straight from the mouth of researchers, to hear all they've done and been able to accomplish. It's a great question. But back to the to-do list, man. What else you guys got on that to-do list you want to share?
I think I just about covered.
I feel like Kim is like the adulting pro, and I'm like,
you're like, I'm ready to party.
I'm still stuck in like freeze mode. Like I'm like every turn I take, I'm like, that's a pile. Like, like I just need to get it done, kind of thing.
Yeah. I think that's all really important stuff. I think another big thing is like I was on this kick for a long time. I was like, I want a Trans Am. I want like a 1978, Smoke in the Bandit Trans Am. And I was like, what's that?
Are you going to have the screaming chicken?
No.
You have the screaming chicken on the hood?
No, dude, no. Okay. What I thought would be cool is instead of that bird, is I could have the Breast Cancer Could Stick It logo. Wouldn't that be cool?
That would
but
be cool.
My point is it's like, I've been saying this to myself a lot lately. I'm like, I can do hard things. You know what I mean? It's like whatever it is that you've been wanting to do, have a plan and start working towards that. How often is it that you're just sitting here and you're like, God, I've wanted to learn how to play guitar for 10 years. It's like, you can't learn how to play guitar until you take that first step. So, like that's something I did recently is, and again, for those watching, I'm not metastatic, but I'm learning so much from you guys, and gaining perspective from getting to know folks like yourselves and just having that diagnosis originally, is I was like, I want to be writing original music. And I've been thinking this for the last year or two. And finally, I just called my buds we've got this band that never really broke up, but we've, only gig every like 3 years. And I was like, hey, let's get together, man. They came over Sunday. We're going to get together every Sunday night, write music, and we're going to work on putting out a new album. And so this is my shameless plug, because I'm also going to shamelessly plug Kim, but the band is 49th Vibration, and we've got stuff on all the streaming channels, so you can check it out there, and we'll be putting out more. But that's just really exciting for me. And I know, Kim, one of the things that you were wanting to do, talk a little bit about your music project.
Oh, yeah. So I'm really excited. Shake Me is a tribute to Cinderella, the 80s band Cinderella. And, we all love their music, and I'm playing bass for that. We actually have a show coming up on Saturday at, I think it's called the Underdog. Oh, great. Big chemo brain. Hey. But no, I'm really excited about that. And one of the things that's so funny, I feel like I need to share this. Sometimes the fatigue is real. And the interesting thing that I learned is that hey, remember when you used to be able to run around on stage with that heavy bass guitar and it didn't weigh anything? Well, it weighs a lot now. uh, and the energy level sometimes, is a little bit different. So, things may look a little bit different when I'm on stage, and I'm okay with that. As long as, I can play, I'm going to play. And, I may have to sit down to do it. So, it is what it is, but I'm excited because I love Cinderella, always have, love their music. And so David, my husband, and I are actually in this project together. So it's the first time that we've actually been in a project together.
Oh,
And so
cool.
I'm good about that. It's going to be awesome. Band sounds
That's
great.
awesome.
Everybody, we've got A players in this band. It's going to be exciting. I hope, people are able to head out and check it out. I don't know, I'm almost speechless. I'm so excited about it.
But that's the whole point of living, man. It's getting those things done and doing all those things that you want to do. And there's no reason to put it off. There's no better time than the present to do all the things you want to do. You just got to put the work in and plan and make it happen. Otherwise, man, knock it off the list. Like, don't even think about it anymore. Move on. You know what I mean? Like, if you're like, you know what? Like, I want to be able to shred on guitar, but I would rather do some other things more important to that. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm not going to shred on guitar. I'm going to do these other things and start prioritizing those things that are most important to you. Just like what you're doing with your band stuff. I mean, like, it's so cool to see you out there doing that. And I hope everybody will make it out this Saturday night at the Underdog to see Shake Me. Tribute to Cinderella. So awesome. Very cool. So what else you got planned, Paige, other than the cruise? Anything else coming up?
Lesson plans. I get to go to TMEA for Texas Music Educators Association next week, so that'll be fun. We turned San Antonio into Planet Music Teacher K through 12 in university level too. So it's always fun. Like, I get to be a kid in the music classes and stuff and bring back fun new ideas for my kiddos and stuff.
That's super cool, man. And
That's
I know
awesome.
Yeah.
That's wonderful, Paige.
Yeah, I miss like adult music, like but yeah, like I think about, like, I loved singing, and like I wish I could rent a marimba or something, but like, yeah. So I have a friend that gifted me her electric guitar set or electric drum set.
All right, man. Yes.
So, but I'm like, I need some guidance on how to put it together. So maybe
Ooh.
April, I could get your input sometime.
Yeah. I know where you live, man. Just let me know. I got some free time here recently, so just let me know, man. I'll come by and hang out. It'd be awesome. Well,
Cool.
I know we got.
Hey, guess what?
What?
I'm going to Monster Jam.
Oh, really, dude?
Yeah.
When is that?
It's on Valentine's Day.
Dude.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Go to that. I was like, you know what? And I've always been into motorsports anyway, so I'm kind of like, I want to go to Monster
So
Jam.
like with the big trucks that crash and all that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love the hand that when you said monster trucks that crash your hands are like monster truck roar. That's so awesome. That's really cool. I have on my list to go see Sam Hagar in Vegas, which is here very soon. I know he's doing
Nice.
two things. He's
fun.
doing something in March, and he's doing another one in September. So I got to get that figured out as well. But I know we're about 10 minutes from the close of the show. I want to give those out who are watching right now another opportunity to pop in any questions while we kind of talk about a few things coming up with Breast Cancer Can Stick It, just so you guys are aware of things that are coming up. So first of all, next month, what is it? It's this month, the third Tuesday of each month. Is it on the third Tuesday this month? Okay, good. Third Tuesday of each month is the Beat broadcast. And Izzy's going to remind me right now who's going to be on that show. Who's on that show, Izzy? She's checking it out. We have lots of cool people coming up, though. I know this year we're going to have Vinny Appice on the Beat broadcast. We're going to have Billy Amendola, who was the editor for Modern Drummer magazine for many, many years. We're going to have the members of the band Sticks and Stones is going to be on. Hannah Welton from Prince is going to be on. Lots of amazing artists are going to be on the Beat broadcast alongside some very courageous and brave breast cancer survivors and warriors. So every third Tuesday of each month is the Beat broadcast. And the first Tuesday of each month is this Mighty and Metastatic, which started this year, 2026. Again, this is our opportunity to talk about everything having to do with metastatic breast cancer and have some extremely special guests on the shows. We got Paige here, and Kim and I host the show. Kim, show your face again. Say some words.
Hey.
the goddess of thunder in the house. You've got your musician, breast cancer survivor, and warrior in the house, co-hosting this show together. So that's going to happen each month. So we've got 2 broadcasts for you guys to check out. Also, just to remind you guys, all the broadcasts are available on streaming broadcast channels such as Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So be sure to check those out. It's a lot of fun to drive around and listen to these shows. It's a cool way to, if you're on a long drive or you're on a commute to work, it's a really great, informative way and hopefully inspiring to you as well to listen into those shows. We also will have the triple negative breast cancer broadcast coming up. That's our annual show. The date is TBA on that. And then a big thing is coming up in July is going to be our first ever summer drumathon in Nashville. So Nashville, Tennessee, we're going to have a drumathon this year. Very excited about that. And then we're going to be returning to Legacy Hall again in the fall. Legacy Hall in the fall. We should do that. Hall in the fall. Legacy Hall in the fall for our big Dallas-based drumathon. So be on the lookout for all of those things and watch our social media channels for more information. You guys have anything else you want to wrap up with while we're here?
Breast cancer can stick it.
Yeah. I didn't even pay them to do this stuff, y'all. This is great.
I just want to say hey to all the other warriors, thrivers, survivors. You are not alone in this. We see you, we hear you, and let's stick it to breast cancer.
Amen. Amen, my friend. And feel free to reach out anytime, guys. I'm reachable, Drummer April on Facebook. If you want to reach out to me there, I also have official April Samuels on Instagram. Breast Cancer Can Stick It is everywhere as well. If you want to DM or PM anywhere, be sure to reach out. If you are a breast cancer survivor or a warrior, please join Survivors Rock, a breast cancer can stick it community. It's a great place to hang out, share your experiences, and get support on Facebook. It's our Facebook group again, Survivors Rock, a breast cancer can stick it community. So join in on that. Also, we'd love to have you on the Beat broadcast. If you'd like to be a guest, message us. All the things. We want to bring awareness. We want to share your story of courage and inspiration with the world. So reach out to us and let us know. Yes, ma'am.
Thing.
Got it. Hit us, girl.
Things to do. Get yourself a medical ID bracelet.
Mm.
I have 2 because I had something pop up that, I couldn't fit on the first one. And I had the first one already. So, you want to make sure that you have one of these, because if you're ever out somewhere and something happens, I can't have blood pressure or anything done to my right arm because my right breast had, so you can't do that because you get lymphedema, right?
Yes.
So, and, also, anything else, blood thinners, whatnot. So you want to make sure you grab one of these because, it's really important if something were to happen, medical professionals are going to look for that.
Yeah.
See it.
And to expand on that, so what Kim was talking about, just so you guys know, I love sharing a little bit more detail with those watching so they have an understanding. So when you have breast cancer, oftentimes they're going to do a biopsy of lymph nodes or remove lymph nodes on the side of the breast cancer you had. So I also had breast cancer in my right breast. And so they biopsied and removed lymph nodes on my right, under my right armpit. And so you're not to have blood pressure or needles on your right arm because it can cause lymphedema like she described. So neither myself or Kim can have needles or blood pressure on our right arm. If somebody had it in their left breast and they had lymph nodes like biopsied or removed on the left side, then it would be the same case. There are situations where people maybe for whatever reason they're like, we're not going to do any lymph node biopsies or removals. Yours is stage 0 or something like that. So even if they had it in their right breast or their left breast, they wouldn't have that restriction of no needles or blood pressure in an arm. So I wanted to explain that a little bit further. That's a good point though. Kim, I got a medical ID necklace like right after I was diagnosed too, man. And then I dropped the ball and now I'm not wearing it anymore. And you've reminded me that I need to do that. I need to get back on the ball with that. It's important, especially if you have other allergies, like my brother's allergic to penicillin. It's really important to have a medical ID bracelet.
It is. And they make
this is my brain.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
They
Kim.
make prettier ones now. Yeah.
Cool.
But something, I'm like, maybe I could make $1 million off of it. But I'm like, I still have a port. I'm like, they could like microchip, like put all that like on a microchip, like they're missing a opportunity there.
Yeah,
just
that's
scan
a great
me.
idea.
And there's all my info.
Well, that's funny. We could be scanned like dogs at the vet.
I'm saying
It works for a dog.
For them. They don't have to wear a bracelet.
I know. That'd be so cool. Every time you go in the hospital, you just get scanned. I don't know.
Right? And then you don't have to write out all those forms.
Oh my God. You're totally on to something.
I had the idea first.
Yeah, you did. Let's get that patented and trademarked and copywritten and all the things.
There you go.
All right, guys. Checking in to see. So Charmaine asks, what if you had lymph nodes removed from both breasts? That's a really good question. I don't know. Paige, did you have lymph nodes removed on both sides?
Yes, just with the testing that I had most recently. But I will say, shout out to Duck Pink, if any of my former Dragon Boat people are watching, like that was all launched from research by like going against that, like not lifting, not, no repetitive motion, no exercise on that side, and like dragon boating, like all the women, like they're beasts, by the way, Duck Pink, woo. But it kind of goes against some of the things that were handed, like the form that says, don't lift anything over 20 pounds, don't do this, don't. Like I still say, stay away from me with needles on that side and everything, but like the repetitive motion and stuff has been proven to help the lymphedema and actually improve the health of people that have had a lot of lymph involvement.
And I know you've had a lot of issue with lymphedema and swelling and stuff like that. You're like a pro.
Great right now.
Well, we could do a whole show on that alone. But to answer the person's question, did you have lymph nodes removed on both sides or just the one side?
Just a few on one side, but like 13 on the other side.
Okay, so
it's mainly
Got you.
Yeah, Charmaine, like they probably tell you that, like you probably just have to watch like the inflammation and she's, shout out to her, she's a triple cancer survivor and still rocking it. Like she's amazing. Charmaine is like sunshine and a human. She's amazing.
Wow.
So
that's so cool.
So you have like, again, everybody's different. And so you learn a lot more about your body than you ever thought you cared to know. So
I see another question here from Jen Roper. What's up, Jen Roper? Jen Roper, I'm calling Jen Roper. Hey, she's asking, will paramedics look for an ID necklace? I don't know. You think maybe a bracelet it would be better? And by the way, I meant to point this out earlier, like at the top of the show. We normally have Josie Divers on, who is an oncologist RN, and we can kind of check things and facts against her. And she was unavailable this evening, but she should be here next month, and she would be very easy to answer these questions about what if it's done in both breasts. Will paramedics look for an ID necklace? I don't know, Jen. I wore mine for a long time. I never really gave them an opportunity to have to look, thankfully. But you know, I feel like having some kind of medical ID on you is better than nothing. You know, so it's a good question.
Like even the shoe ID thing. Like I have one on my shoe.
That's so smart.
That has like just info and stuff.
Very smart. Well, Paige, thank you so much for being our guest tonight, man.
Thanks, April.
You're such a rock star, dude.
Love you.
Love you too. And Kim, man, we'll fight another day next month when we have a new topic and a new guest, and Josie will be back in the house. And in the meantime, right, Kim, everybody needs to come see Shake Me, tribute to Cinderella, Saturday night at the Underdog in Dallas.
Absolutely.
Right
Absolutely.
on. All right. All right, everybody. Don't worry about dying. Just keep living. Find your way to just keep living. All right. We love you guys. Y'all take care. And thanks again so much for being here, Paige and Kim. We'll kick it off again next month. All right.
All right.
Bye, lady.
Y'all have a good one. Take care.
Good night.
Bye.